Hey everybody, let's talk about this chart here. What we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on the sect of the chart. Now, we do know that, or we should know, or you need to know that every natal chart is either a day chart or a night chart. And the way that you find out if you have a day chart or a night chart, that's the first step, is to find the ascendant, which in this case it's here. And hold on a second. Okay, find the ascendant, which is here, and the descendant, which is over here. And then you're going to draw an imaginary line connecting them to. And once you do that, you're going to look for the sun. If the sun is above that line, then you have a day chart. If the sun were to have been below the line, you would have a night chart. In this case, here's the sun. You have a day chart. So this chart right here is a day chart. Once you determine if it's a day chart or a night chart, then you have established your sect luminary leader. And for day charts, it's the sun. For a night chart, it's the moon. But this is a day chart. So the sun is the sect leader. Now, think of the sun as like the captain of a team. And on the sun's team, the sun has the planet Jupiter, the planet Saturn, and a morning star, Mercury. And I'll explain to you how to determine what Mercury is, if it's a morning star or an evening star. But in this day chart, we have Team Saturn, Team Jupiter, Team Sun, and Team Morning Star Mercury. Once you've established that, you want to see if these planets communicate with each other, because I want you to think of it this way. Imagine you're on a sports team and the captain of your team is calling out certain plays that you need to hear so you can position yourself properly to help your team win. If you can't hear or see your coach, you're not able to communicate with him, and you're really kind of, I don't want to say useless, but in a way kind of more of a useless player on your team. That's the idea of planets in the in the sect of the sun. That's the same idea as making sure these planets can all communicate with each other. And the way that they communicate is via aspects. In traditional astrology, we have these aspects only. We have a trine, a square, a sextile, an opposition, and a in-house conjunction. Those are the aspects that we have. We want to see if all of these planets that are on the same team somehow connect to each other via aspect. So we start with the sun. The sun is going to look for its first team member, which is, we'll start with Saturn. And where is Saturn? There is Saturn right there. Saturn is forming a sextile to the sun, so they are communicating. There's an aspect there, and it's a pretty good aspect, so they're communicating pretty well. Next, we want to find the sun's other teammate, which is Jupiter. And look, there's Jupiter, and here's the sun. They're in the same house. They have a conjunction by house because they're both in the same house. So this is fabulous. They're actually communicating very well. They can see each other and they can hear each other. They're in the same zodiac sign, and the environment that they're working in is the same. So this is a real great aspect. Finally, we want to see where Mercury is. And in this case, here is Mercury. Here's the sun and Jupiter, its team members, and Saturn, its team members. But Mercury's here. Mercury is in aversion to this house, and Mercury is in aversion to this house. So Mercury cannot communicate with Saturn, Sun, and Jupiter because of being in aversion. So somehow this planet right here, Mercury, is not going to hear the calls that the team leader is sending out or that the other players are talking about. This means you're going to have a difficulty somehow with Mercury, which is communication, thinking, writing, things like that. There's going to be some sort of disconnect with this planet in this person's life. All right, how do we tell if Mercury is a morning star or an evening star? You find the sun always, even on a night chart, you still look for the sun. You always find the sun when you want to establish Mercury's status. So here's the sun. Draw an imaginary line again all the way to the other side of the chart. And if the planet Mercury is on this side of that line, it's going to be a morning star. If Mercury is on this side of the sun's imaginary line that we drew, it's going to be a evening star Mercury. When I say morning star Mercury, star is another word for planet. Morning planet Mercury or evening planet Mercury. In this case, because Mercury is over here, and we established that all the planets on this side of the sun, going all the way down to here, are morning stars. This Mercury is an evening star Mercury. So it really is out of sync with Team Sun. So it's not only an inversion, but it's not really in its best placement. So that's even more likely you're going to have a problem with that Mercury. And Mercury is in that very difficult 12th house. So you really are adding layers of problems somehow with communicating and this Mercury. You'd have to dig in a lot further to the chart to find out, but for the basic first understanding is going to be that. Anyway, that's kind of an idea of how this team plays out. They all connect to each other and they connect pretty well with the exception of Mercury. So that's a good start for this person. All right, next we're going to go to another chart. Here we have a night chart. Why do we have a night chart? Well, we drew the line, the imaginary line from the ascendant to the descendant. I drew it in red here. We see the sun is below. So now we establish this is a night chart. Once we know it's a night chart, we know that the luminary ruler is the moon. All right, because it's a night chart. When we're looking to establish if it's a night or day chart, we locate the sun, but that's just to give us the information of whether it's a night or a day chart. This is a night chart because the sun is down here. So the sect leader is the moon. Here we go, the moon. And the teammates of this luminary sect team are going to be Mars and Venus, and then, of course, Mercury. Mercury goes either way. Mercury is either working for you or working against you, depending on the sect of your chart. So in a night chart, we're going to go ahead and find that sun, draw a line across the chart like I did in green, and we're going to see where does Mercury fall. Mercury falls on the right side, right here, of the sun, and that means that this is a morning star Mercury because it's in counterclockwise motion. It's on the it's after the sun. So that means this Mercury is not really well placed. This Mercury would have been happier if it had been placed as an evening star Mercury, which would have been anywhere here before the sun. So Mercury falling after the sun is a day star, and Mercury falling before the sun is an evening star, right? All right, so now we've established that. Now what Mercury is in this chart. This is a morning star, day chart, day star, morning star Mercury. We have to see, do these planets communicate with each other? Well, let's find out. We got the moon here. Let's go find Mars here's Mars. This is forming a square. This is the aversion house. This is the sextile house. This is the square house. So a square is a difficult aspect. There's things that don't agree when you have a square. You've got it ruled by Libra, which is air, and you've got it ruled by Cancer, which is water. Water and air don't really mix. Water's inward, air is outward. So you got that that discrepancy, or that's where they buck heads, if you will. You also have two cardinal zodiac signs that want to initiate things. Well, Saturn wants to initiate things emotionally and internally. Libra wants to initiate things outwardly and through thinking and speaking and communication. So you can see where this problem arises. So we've got Mars there. We also have that Mercury that is not in the best position for a luminary sect driven chart. We have Mercury as well squaring the moon. So this is the emotions averaged out over a lifetime. It's also your ability to heal, your stamina, your health. Tells you a lot. So you have a square aspect. You have difficulties with this Saturn and with this Mercury. You're going to have difficulties that kind of layer and color this natal chart. But let's find Venus. The other team member, Venus, is forming a trine to the moon. This would be aversion. This would be sextile, square, trine. So it's forming a trine. That's a great aspect. They're on the same team and they are helping each other out because that is a great aspect. A trine is very good. A trine is, in this case, this house is ruled by Scorpio water sign, and this house is ruled by Cancer water sign, two water signs. So right away they're going to resolve or connect with each other in a water emotional way, and they're going to keep it internal because water signs are internal. So you can see how a trine is very useful. And so you have Venus and the moon trining each other. That's really good. Really, really good. All right. We want to look at something else. What about Venus with her other teammates? Over here, she's in aversion to these two planets because they're right next to her. This means they can't communicate. So whatever she's telling or communicating, they're not hearing it. Whatever they're saying, she's not hearing it. Only in this case, Mars and Mercury is sending out whatever it needs to send out as energy to the moon, but in a square way. So that's kind of just an idea of what this is all about. When you find out the sect of your chart, you have to find the team ruler. It's either going to be sun or moon, and then you find the planets that are on that team, and that will always be the same. But then you have to locate the planets, and that will be different in everybody's chart, and see if they can see each other and see what aspects are strong in those planets seeing each other, because that energy will kind of influence the way the person's life goes. All right, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, people, keep studying.